It's been a month since we've got the OnePlus 7 and we at C4 Tech have been spending a lot of time with it. So now today it's time for after a month review. Is the OnePlus 7 worth the 33,000 rupee asking price? Let's find out. Hey guys, Ash here, you're watching C4 Tech. If you end up liking what you see, don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Okay, so we all know the build, right? It's identical to the OnePlus 6T, glass back and all that. I mean, yeah, the camera array is a little different, but for all intents and purposes, it's a 6T in looks, so there is nothing really new here. At a time where the competition is offering 10x zooms, all-screen displays, flip-out cameras, and even shark fin selfie shooters, the OnePlus 7 is still firmly stuck in 2018 with that water drop notch. OnePlus really did kinda settle here. While it is true that the display has a notch, it still is an excellent optic AMOLED panel. It's not Quad HD or 90Hz like the Pro, but it is punchy, the blacks are deep, and even under harsh sunlight, the screen gets bright. This 6.41-inch panel is quite awesome. There's support for HDR on YouTube, and that combined with the new Dolby Atmos powered stereo speakers, it makes for a really immersive media experience. Given the build's basically a 6T, there is still no headphone jack. That remains a con, and OnePlus doesn't even include a converter in the box anymore. Now returning back to the things I actually liked, we have the Snapdragon 855 inside that held up quite brilliantly. When I used the OnePlus 7 to comparatively test the Redmi K20 Pro's graphite cooling, I was actually amazed. Guys, usually when you keep rerunning benchmarks, phones heat up, and that leads to throttling and benchmark scores drop. For example, there were inconsistencies with the scores on the Redmi K20 Pro. That wasn't the case with the OnePlus 7 though. It handled thermals quite admirably. So even when we repeatedly kept rerunning benchmarks, the scores, they were very similar. And it's not just the theory either. Even when it comes to gaming, the flagship Qualcomm chip inside, it performed great. So if you like some of my team love playing PUBG for hours, the OnePlus 7 will deliver. We even tried out the new Fanatic mode, and while it didn't make our aim any better, at least the enemies were easier to spot. And also note that given support for warp charge here, you can continue gaming while the phone keeps charging as the circuitry is offloaded to the charger itself. This is a 20-watt charger by the way, so while slower than the OnePlus 7 Pro, it is still faster than most of the competition. Another point of note is that the Type-C port is USB 3.1 Gen 1, so if you are just plugged into your laptop, the phone should charge faster than a phone with a USB 2 port. And while we are talking charging, let us also talk battery life. There is a 3700 mAh battery here, and that was perfectly adequate. My colleague who used this OnePlus 7 as his primary for the majority of a month ended most of his days with 20 to 30% juice left in the tank, and that is with moderate usage. So battery, charging, performance, all good. Now guys, when I say performance, it's not just benchmarks or gaming, it is also about what you do in the day-to-day. Whether it's using your own list of apps, going through an Instagram feed, catching up on cricket scores, replying to emails, and this day-to-day experience is something OnePlus has excelled at, and they continue to do so here on the OnePlus 7. OxygenOS 9.5 is what OnePlus 7 is on, and unlike other brands, the experience OnePlus offers here is identical to what they offer on the more expensive OnePlus 7 Pro. So whether it's the Zen mode or the screen recorder, it is all present and accounted for. Now the next major change with the OnePlus 7, now that's the cameras. We have a primary 48 megapixel f1.7. Now this is the Sony IMX586. Now we've been seeing a lot of phones use this sensor. Now the OnePlus 7 happens to be the least expensive phone to sport this sensor with a lens with OIS. Under bright daylight, the photos appear to be quite good. The colors are a little saturated. That said, it is a look a lot of people seem to like. The detail levels are pretty good too. They can be cranked up by switching to the 48 megapixel mode. The secondary is a 5 megapixel depth sensor, so nothing special. Actually seems a bit of a letdown given most phones today in this segment seem to have an ultra wide or something. For a depth sensor, it does well with portraits. The edge detection is quite decent. The real test though is when the light fades. Well, even then the OnePlus 7 holds up pretty well. OnePlus's Nightscape steals the show here. The combination of OIS, the wide f1.7 aperture, and OnePlus's software algorithms make for low light photos that are really good. Shots often turned out bright with low noise levels. OnePlus managed to even get the white balance right on most occasions. As for the rest of the camera experience, well, the 4K footage looked quite good. There is stabilization here. As far as selfies and selfie portraits go, the 16 megapixel front-facing camera gets the job done. We have good amounts of detail, the skin tones are well reproduced, and when it comes to edge reduction, OnePlus is mostly on point. And the selfie camera can also do this. Yep, OnePlus's lightning fast face unlock is back, and honestly, it's a feature that makes the trade-off for a notch almost worth it. Almost. On the few occasions that I did use the fingerprint unlock, well, the in-display unit here remained fast and accurate, quite a bit better than the one on the 6T, so no complaints. Speaking of improvements over the 6T, the vibration motor here feels a bit better too. Not as good as the one on the 7 Pro, but I didn't miss any calls while the 7 was in my pocket and on vibrate. So I'm gonna count that one as a win. Now finally, we get to pricing. The OnePlus 7 starts at 33,000 rupees, and at this price, if you were in a vacuum, if you're just looking at the OnePlus 7, just looking at OnePlus phones, then the 7, it is a steal. It's a great improvement over the OnePlus 6T, and it actually comes with a price cut, a 5,000 rupee price cut. OnePlus never settles for a price cut, right? But the OnePlus 7 is not alone. At the moment, we have other options like the Asus 6Z in this segment that do offer the OnePlus 7 a run for its money. And with the K20 Pro launching real soon, the OnePlus 7 might not be an amazing value for money option. It's still got a unique feature set that you don't get with the competition. Features like day-to-day water resistance, the alert slider, UFS 3.1 storage, and USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type-C port. If these are things that interest you and you like Oxygen OS and you don't care much for flip cameras or all-screen displays, then the OnePlus 7 would serve you well. It is a good phone. It could have been great if OnePlus had refreshed that build a little. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Now, I want to know what you guys have to say. Do tell me what you think about the OnePlus 7, and if you're still confused about which phone to buy, here's a playlist of all the comparisons I've kind of done with the OnePlus 7. Do check that out. Also hit the thumbs up, thumbs down button based on whatever you felt about this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. So thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.